Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. A pack of barking dogs can be silenced with throwing them a mere bone. One cannot help but see that this is the state of the Muslim nation. This became apparent when we saw the Muslims around the world scream and cheer for Barack Obama following his rhetorical speech in Egypt. This is a time in which the prisons around the world are filled with Muslims. We have seen the abuse photos that circulate, including the horrific images of young Muslim women being raped by American and Iraqi soldiers. We have seen the images of Palestinian children laying in the streets, gasping for their last breaths of life, while they grip hold of their mothers and hope that what is happening to them is merely all a bad dream. We have heard the stories which come from Afghanistan and seen the images of the occupation along with the Afghan military and Northern Alliance, and how they abused, raped, and murdered the Afghan people. And do not think that we have forgotten the photos of what happened in Kosovo, and what continues to happen within Shishan, Somalia, and countless other Muslim lands. This is an age which our resources are being soaked dry, and our people exploited by the United States and its allies. Will we really be content with a bone? Will we be silenced with a few temporary changes? It seems that we have forgotten our history, a history of honor and glory. Where are the lines of al-Mu'tazim, the ruler of Baghdad, who sent a whole army after one Muslim woman cried out his name in Roman captivity? Or the likes of the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ, who had given bay'ah to death upon hearing that supposedly Uthman had been killed, for what he believed was the death of one man, one Muslim man. He led a whole army into Mecca. Today, the allies of modern-day Rome did not take captive one Muslim woman, but rather they have taken whole cities, mass populations. The women of this ummah cry and scream day and night as they are ravaged by the occupiers and their allies. Yet, none of us have answered these cries. None of us have answered these screams. And these occupiers, along with their allies, did not kill one man. Rather, mounds of dead bodies pile up daily. And these piles do not only include the bodies of militants, but their foundations are built with the bodies of women, children, and the elderly. Yet seemingly, we have not given our bay'ah to death, but to cowardice and defeat. Without a doubt, our history is a forgotten history. We look towards President Barack Obama and his administration. The lineup of cabinet advisors and department heads is not exactly, as you may say, Islam friendly. This is something clear to us who have 2 eyes and 2 ears. Interestingly enough, this is very similar to those of his bloody predecessors. Is this the change we're supposed to believe in? Have we forgotten what Allah has told us within His book when He said, "And thus do we explain the proofs, the evidences, the verses, the lessons, the signs and revelations, in detail, that the way of the criminals, polytheists, and sinners may become manifest." We raise our heads in hope, as if though He will be tolerant of our faith and our identity. And yet, we do not beware, despite the warnings from Allah who told us, "Never will the Jews nor the Christians be pleased with you, O Muhammad ﷺ, till you follow their religion." For how much longer will we be spellbound by His speeches and pretty talk, and continue to give a deaf ear to the piercing screams of our sisters in these tyrannical prisons, the screams of our children whose heads are not met with the lips of their mothers, but are rather met with bullets and bombs? Will we not pay heed to what Allah Azza wa Jal has said when He told us, "There is a type of man whose speech about this world's life may dazzle thee. He calls Allah to witness about what is in his heart, yet he is most contentious of enemies." Does this sound familiar? It is time that we, brothers and sisters, re-examine Obama's policies, that we rid ourselves of this defeatist mentality, this sad state of inferiority complex syndrome which is infesting the Ummah. We will not settle for any cheap offer, so why are we allowing ourselves to? Since when were the hearts and the minds of the believers bought at such a petty price? Since when do we settle for just a mere bone? Your brethren in Islam, the voice of an awakening.